This is dollar stuff. I got it on video. So when I started that channel, I thought, you know, I've been into Sears Suburban since '95 when I got that one, and I just didn't see anything out there on them. I didn't see.
Yeah, but you weren't really looking though.
I wasn't
You weren't
looking.
really into it,
I'd go
yeah.
into eBay, you know, and I would search and I go, "That's my tractor," and I just thought it was so cool. I kept seeing my tractor because I never saw one before. And well, shoot, at 95, so there was 10 years that went by, and then we went out and I had two. So then I put a video up. I was thinking that would be cool. There was only a handful of videos out there at the time on the Suburban, and I put that out there, and I thought that would be it. And you came over, and I met you, and you thought it was a piece of junk, but as it turned out, you know, it ran pretty good, and you liked the way that it pulled the kids around in the trailer. So you went out, and then you started searching Craigslist. Well, I didn't know about Craigslist. I would always look under Sears Suburban, but they come up under Sears Tractor.
Right.
That's what I learned from you. And then I learned that little or symbol you can put in the search. You can put Sears Suburban, that symbol, and then Tractor, and it brings up either Sears Suburban or Sears Tractor if you do that. And we went out and bought.
No, actually, you know, we can back up a little bit because I wasn't even really looking at one until I came across that one for my cousin. We just went to a party, and it was just sitting out in his yard. And I wasn't even looking to get one, but then I noticed it looked kind of similar, but it was the newer, you know, the mid-'70s style. So I didn't really recognize it at first until I seen the Sears tag on the hood, and then I'm kind of looking it over, and it looks kind of similar, I guess.
It got out of control, and we bought.
Then I bought the next one
between
after
the
that.
two of us, 18 of them in a row. I mean,
Within like a few month period.
yeah. I mean, bam, and then we were done.
We haven't bought any
Haven't
since.
bought any. I've been using them. I mean, the Rotospader's back there, and I'd like to get that out. And I've seen, you know, Hambone picked up a gorgeous Rotospader. Gorgeous. That is by far, bar none, the best implement they make. So then I put the video out there.
We definitely stirred up a lot of activity.
I don't
know if it
I don't
was
think
just-
I have. I think I just ran into a bunch of people that were into garden tractors. You know, because then it was up there for a year or like close to 8 months, and I didn't know what subscriptions was. I didn't know what any of that was. And, you know, then right around Christmas of 2009, around November, I was like, bam, Titleist, 500 horsepower.
Who was your first hit? Who was the first guy that, you know, started commenting on you or subscribed
That's
to you?
interesting because Tractor World. I go back and look, and there was some emails from early people. I didn't even realize at the time that the subscription thing and everything like that, because I got these subscriptions, and I didn't know that I could subscribe to people and see things. But Tractor World, if I go back, was like one of the first people or the first persons that started commenting on, and there was CSA Kids.
Maybe that's him.
Oh God!
I bet you that's
Terrible.
I think I know who you're talking about. I think the
CSA Kids. He's
overseas.
yeah, and then there's another one down in Florida. I haven't heard from him in a while. Can't believe I can't remember his name and then there was one more, and then I looked back, and Pacific Drummer had commented going back to right after that video was put up. I didn't even realize that I knew him going back 10 months, close to a year. He left a really nice comment. So then I stumbled across the Ed's Garage 500 and horsepower, the little thing that was going on there, and that was really cool. And then of course 500 is like bar none as good as they get. And I mean, it's just polished, learn something every time video. And then eventually Saturn came onto the scene, and then like this guy, this guy's good, I really enjoy his videos. And of course he was redoing one, which is something we want to do someday, but I don't know when or space or
That's a
anything.
pretty good question. Out of all your machines, which, if you could restore one, like if you had time, like right now, which one would it be?
Either the Soul Blue or that 70 over there. But if you sell me your 68, I may work on that because I'm inspired by Saturn with his 68. The only difference is I would put those long plate foot pegs on there. I know they're not original, and I'm more original. I try to talk people into doing the original color when they do it. But, so that and then I started subscribing, and then it got just out of control there for just like the Suburban buying did. The YouTube got out of control there for November 2009 through February 2010. It was just subscribe and I and then you go on and you pull down subscriptions and you look at, wow, these these are the guys I subscribe to and what they're putting out there. But there was a couple other that were like the very beginning, Taziz. Those they were like the first couple of, there was like 7 or 8 different people that had subscribed. And I feel terrible. I can't. Dangerous Toys, I think the guy's name down there in Florida. I think he's down there. He's down south somewhere. And through that, we met some really wonderful people like Ed's Garage and Matt and BYR. But it just kind of, kind of got hooked in there for like 5 months where I was just on there all the time. And
well, that was the winter months, right? So
yeah.
What more? Plus, you didn't have the barn. So I mean, no heated garage. Well, some heat, but boy, it did go out of control there for a while, didn't it?
Got out of control, and Hambone came on the scene, and what a great guy. Great guy. Of course, he just went out and picked out a boatload of implements. You got to check out these videos he's got out there. They're really, really nice. The best deal was the second one, was the 70.
It was just rock solid.
Well, you know what?
No
I have to admit, the one that I sold to Steve. So it's between those two.
But wasn't there a problem with it? Or
Yeah, there was. The safety switch was disconnected, so it wouldn't turn over. So you had to jump it past the solenoid.
But that was it, right?
That was it. Once I realized, I replaced the ignition. I replaced the solenoid.
Oh, you did put new parts on it.
Yeah, tons. Trying to get the electrical to work, and all I had to do was put a little washer to connect the two safety switches together. And
Oh, right. Well, lately, what's been coming up for sale, locally, has been top dollar, and $500 to $700 seems like it's going right out there for them now.
I think you see that one down the road there. I think it's a Boland's. Remember we stopped in and looked at that International? It had a 12-horse Tecumseh on it. It was probably late 60s, early 70s.
The Massey Ferguson.
Okay. I
Yeah.
thought it was an International.
No, and it had the tiller on the back.
Right. Well, across the street from that, I think there's a Boland sitting back there.
There is, yep.
That looks really nice. That's just sitting there, and that's been sitting there. It's got a plow on it.
Yeah.
And I'll bet you that will run just as well, if not circles around these. Wonder what he wants for that.
I would bet the Bolands are a more heavy-duty type tractor, like you pointed out before, the Sears are not really like, top dog tractor.
We stopped in that junkyard, and I swear to God, he had everything in there, right? Gorgeous simplicities.
Everything.
Those simplicities that got the bug eyes on it, the ones I like that I'd like to own someday. Or they made them for Montgomery Ward's, what were they called? The Village Squire or something Squire. He had the Massey Fergusons. He had exactly. He had the John Deere's. And we go back, he had a bunch of Suburbans back there, and he said those are the only ones that are not for sale. And they're the most least desirable of all the tractors I just mentioned. You got to go back.
Wasn't that something though when he said that? I mean, that's
I mean,
what we're focused on.
We didn't even ask for it. We didn't even let our cards show on the table. And remember, he said
Yeah.
the Suburbans aren't for sale.
Which he'd probably let go, but I mean, what, $700, $600 for something that's been sitting outside for. You can't even turn the wheel because they're all seized up, right?
Right.
I mean, the motors are probably all done, tired.
But the yard was organized in a way that it looked like maybe he was selling them, but I haven't seen any ads up there.
I would love to go back. I mean, I just had a ball that weekend. I mean, maybe just throw some numbers out there and see what he does. I mean,
What is
remember that Boland,
This
that
is
gold
unique.
one, like from the early '60s?
Yeah, yeah.
That was really unique, and probably from like '61 or something like that.
Did we not ask a price on a couple of those and they were like under 300 for some of that really old stuff that looked like it was in great...
I think you were asking about like the landlord, and he was like in the $300 range. I'm thinking, but I don't know if they ran or what.
He had Cubs up there, I mean, Rosa.
I mean, but that's been what, 2 years now, so maybe this summer make another trip up there and maybe he changed his mind or bug him again about it, or I mean, because we were kind of in a hurry, right? We didn't have time just to sit there, and we weren't planning on going there to buy anything because we didn't know about it. Because you were talking about just loading up the trailer. Well, let's just load it, or we didn't bring a trailer, but let's just grab everything we can now and come back with the trailer or something. Just get like 20 or 30 of them, or something like that.
We can't part them out, and that's where the money is. Sears Nut was another one that was early in Oni 135.
Well, there's a guy that's got a few, I think they're Massey Fergusons, like 3 or 4 of them. And he had them all lined up, and he's doing a walk around, and, they were from, like from like late 60s, early 70s. But they were really cool. I mean,
Have you seen The Garden Preacher?
Yeah.
Seems like a really nice guy.
Didn't he put like a Honda engine in there or something?
Yes.
And that could be a problem.
You know what? It's gonna rock though. It's blue though. It looks like it's one of those Chinese ones, but it could be Honda. I don't know. Honda make a blue engine?
I don't know.
These guys are putting in motors, and you gotta fabricate the clutch for the one side. And what's his name? He dropped the motor right into a custom, so he didn't have to do anything. Tractor Man Dale or
Because they don't make the HH120 anymore, the HH100. But there's an engine out there that'll supposedly replace that or fit right in and take its spot.
there's a Honda Twin, I
It's
think.
like a Chinese knockoff or something, or like a Honda Chinese knockoff or something. Or
Honda makes a Twin that will replace the Onan. An 18 horse.
or maybe that's what it is. But no, it's like $600-700.
It's at least, it's like $1,200, I think.
Who
1,100.
wants to do that,
Well, brand new tractor, and you know it's going to run forever. You know that the frame's going to hold up. I mean, so I guess. Remember there was a brand new, off the shelf, never used HH120. The guy wanted
yeah.
$475 or something like that.
Worth
Think
like
about
that.
that. You would have had, if you would have got that, it would have already been painted. It was done.
I think it went up to like $1,000 though, didn't it?
There was another guy on the
Or $900 or something.
Yahoo Sears Best Tractor Club. There was another guy. He wanted $475, and no one was taking him up on it. And $475. You got a motor that's never been run. You could take care of it from day one, the way it's supposed to be taken care of. Drop it in something that you've finished. You could be under $1,000 and have a brand spanking new